Hey, how's it going? Amelia here. Let's see what's coming up on Newsbreak. A 19-year-old pilot aims to break a world record. We hear the story of Douglas Mawson. And a snake in a supermarket? Yikes. All that's coming up, but before we get there, make sure you hit subscribe. In less than a week, the Tokyo Paralympics kicks off. But ahead of the Games, Paralympians are helping to launch a new worldwide campaign called We the 15. It's all about the 15% of people around the world living with disability and the discrimination they face. Here's Liv.
Breaks my heart.
Look at you out and about.
You push us all to do better.
You are superheroes.
Really?
It's cheeky.
No, I'm not praying for a cure.
I'm praying for a new handbag.
And wholesome.
We get married.
We met on a blind date. It's all about changing attitudes and breaking down discrimination towards the 15% of people around the world living with a disability. The We the 15 campaign video launched today, and the internet is loving it.
We're not special. That's not what it's like.
Non è la nostra realtà.
And only when you see us.
Wonderfully human.
Only then
Can we all break down these barriers?
That keep us apart.
Tonight, more than 100 landmarks will light up in purple, the global colour for disability, to celebrate the launch. The video's set to feature in Tuesday's Paralympics opening ceremony. And during the Games, you'll even spot athletes wearing temporary tattoos of the campaign symbol. Paralympic gold medalist Kurt Fearnley is an ambassador for the program.
We the 15 is about taking the voices of people with disabilities to an international stage and actually pushing the public to get real-world outcomes.
And they hope it'll be just the start of improving the lives of the billion-plus people around the globe living with disabilities.
19-year-old pilot Zara Rutherford is on her way to setting a new world record. She's just taken off on a 51,000 kilometre journey to become the youngest woman to fly solo around the world.
It's a dream I've had my entire life, to fly in a plane around the world. It's just this crazy idea. I always thought it would be impossible.
She took off from Belgium in her ultralight plane. The journey will take about 3 months with stops in 52 countries. And she's got her sights set even higher than becoming a world record holder.
And then after that, a huge dream of mine is to become an astronaut. So we'll see how that goes, but that would be amazing.
All right, we're sticking with trailblazers now as we look at another famous Aussie for National Science Week. Check it out.
if I ask you to close your eyes and picture an old Antarctic explorer, you might picture this guy, geologist and explorer Sir Douglas Mawson. He was born in Yorkshire, England in 1882 and moved to Australia when he was 2. At uni, he studied geology and engineering. In 1907, Mawson joined English explorer Ernest Shackleton aboard a ship called the Nimrod for his first voyage down to Antarctica. He, Mawson, became the first to reach the South Magnetic Pole. A few years later, with a sense of adventure and a taste for the cold, Mawson led the Australian Antarctic expedition to map the coastline, collect rocks, and make lots of scientific observations. During a big trek inland, disaster struck. 2 of Mawson's companions, Belgrave Ninnis and Xavier Mertz, died. For the next 30 days, Mawson trekked alone in the freezing cold which damaged feet and hardly any food, dragging his sled behind him. As he staggered back to camp, Mawson saw his ship, the Aurora, sailing off in the distance. He had missed it only by a few hours. Mawson stayed in Antarctica for another year, collecting scientific data. After this famous journey, Mawson became a lecturer at the Adelaide University and even went back to Antarctica in 1929 and 1931. Today, the Australian Antarctic Station is named after Sir Douglas Mawson, and he is remembered for his scientific contributions and his epic tale of survival.
And look at what a person in Sydney encountered at their local supermarket. Yup, that's a 3-metre long python in the spice section. Luckily, the shopper was a trained snake catcher. Handy. So they managed to capture the non-venomous snake in a bag and release it nearby. What a coincidence. Well, that's all the news for today, but make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks.